Hey everyone, my name is Tyler, if you guys forgot, and today I'm going to be talking about why PC laptops are superior to Mac laptops. So, I'm going to be talking about three main principles. We're going to be talking about design differences, cost, and software between the two companies and brands. So, design differences first. According to How Stuff Works in their article, 10 differences between Macs and PCs, they review that Consumer Reports reviews 11 distinct brands of Windows-based computers, including Acer, Asus, Compaq, Dell, eMachines, etc., and each offering numerous configurations of desktop and laptop models. So, main point to PC laptops is that more models equals more flexibility towards people and what they want. As a main example of this is keyboards. So for keyboard designs, PC laptops, because there are so many different companies, they all want to be on top of each other. And so if there's a hardware issue or hardware failure, the other company will try and rise above the other one. And so for Apple's case, this is not it. Extreme Tech states in their article, iFixit, Apple finally ditched butterfly switches in the new 16-inch MacBook Pro. The idea behind the butterfly switch was to retain a tactile typing experience while reducing travel and thus making keyboards thinner. It succeeded at those things, but the travel was so low that a speck of dust could render a key inoperable if it got under the keycap. This major problem, which cost people $400, $500 more, it only took them 5 years to fix, which is terrible for PCs and for laptops. So, also they can since they're the only manufacturer of their certain product, they can actually hide technical facts, making research for these types of products even more difficult than they already are. So, for the repair process, PC laptops are much more reliable just due to multiple manufacturers, and you can DIY repair parts, and you can also DIY upgrades, which makes the PC last longer. Mac repairs are incredibly expensive due to them only having their being able to repair them. Antonio Villas-Boas in his article, Apple quoted me $1,500 to repair a MacBook Pro, so I paid less than $500 in an unauthorized Apple repair shop instead. He explains in short that he had a problem with liquid damage for his MacBook, and instead of paying upwards of $1,000 to fix the problem, he took it to an unauthorized third-party business that repaired it for him for about $500, which is much better than paying $1,500. So build quality, Apple, yes, has really good build quality, but the problem is that it is a clamshell design, so you cannot upgrade or DIY repairs on it without, according to Jack Oaten in his article, How to Upgrade a Mac, DIY upgrades will invalidate your Mac's warranty and have the potential to break your Mac. This is a huge issue, especially if you want the product to last longer. Upgradability, too, for PCs. You can do it. You can DIY without voiding warranty, unlike Apple products. So, on to our next topic is cost. I just want to show you the price ranges for PC and Mac. As you can see, PC has a much larger gap, and so there are more more products for each individual person, unlike Macs, where their price gap is much smaller. So, directly comparing the MacBook Air to PC products. Really quick overcap. It costs $1,300 and weighs 2.8 pounds. Has an i5, 8 gigs of RAM, 512 gig SSD, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, and Intel Iris graphics. Now, for this cost, these specs are not very good. And so on the PC range, the LG Gram, which costs $1,239, weighs about 2.16 pounds, has an i7, and now this i7 is 2 generations behind, but it is still on par with this i5 and actually better. It has 16 gigs of RAM, which is double, 250 gig SSD, which is slightly worse, but that's just in this price bracket and type of laptop. They always skimp out on the, on the SSDs. And so it also has a 72 watt battery for 20 hours of battery life. So going down, XPS 13 is cost $1,200, same CPU, but has all the same specs as the MacBook Air, but has a 4K screen, which at this price range you can really not find anywhere else. So moving on to their workstation PCs, which typically these would be for 3D modeling or content creation, being like video editing or whatever. And so MacBook Pro, this is cost $2,800, weighs 2.75 pounds, has an i9, has AMD Radeon graphics, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, and 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports. For a computer that costs $2,800, these specs are honestly terrible. They're a ripoff. And comparing them to PC, our first example is the Electronics Mag 15, which costs $2,000. It weighs 4.15 pounds, which is about 2 pounds more, but the CPU is as good as the i9. The graphics card, an RTX 2070, is about 300 times better, 300% more better than the AMD Radeon graphics. Has double the RAM, has double the storage, and has a 94 watt battery, and has some other basic ports. Another option, the Asus ROG Zephyrus, which costs about $1,449, weighs 3.5 pounds, and currently this laptop actually has the best mobile processor in any laptop, and this costs half the price of the MacBook. And so it also has an RTX 2060, which is a tier lower from our previous example, but it is still as good. 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, etc., etc. These laptops are so much cheaper, and they offer nearly the same exact technology inside of them for cheaper. So, moving on to software, to be quite frank, PC Windows 10, it just works better because, according to Michael Muchmore in his article, Mac OS versus Windows, which OS really is the best, he states that it's because Mac OS is more document-based while Windows is program-based. Everything nowadays is program-based. And as an example, Windows for gaming purposes, Mac OS has always been so far behind while Windows has been on top of the game ever since the early 2000s. Now, Mac OS does have its benefits, but those benefits overshadow the big problem, which is it doesn't have enough support. And so these examples can be GarageBand, Final Cut, FaceTime, AirDrop. But the problem is you're paying such a high premium for these applications that in reality it is not worth it. So, why should you buy a PC laptop? Because image isn't everything. Paying a premium for these products is not worth it, and you should not be misled by them. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. And here is the works web page for the pictures.